Back in 1997, this sound, it just echoed out of the depths of the Pacific Ocean. It was so loud, so strange, and so powerful that it kicked off a mystery that went on for more than a decade. It got this nickname, the Bloop, and for years, people seriously wondered if it was the call of some undiscovered colossal creature. All right, let's dive into this deep-sea mystery.
And this is it. This is the Bloop's acoustic signature. What you're looking at is called a spectrogram, which is basically a picture of a sound. You can see right here how the frequency, the pitch, rises over time. This unique upward sweep is exactly what made the Bloop so fascinating and, for a long time, so completely baffling.
So yeah, that was the big question, right? The sound just had this organic quality to it. The way the frequency varied, it sounded, well, alive. Was it even possible that something truly enormous was hiding in the parts of our oceans we've never even seen?
To solve this, we've got to go right back to the beginning, to the moment this bizarre signal first popped up on scientists' screens.
It all kicked off in 1997 when the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, you'll hear them called NOAA, detected this incredibly powerful, super low-frequency sound. And like we saw in its signature, the sound actually rose in frequency for over a whole minute. By the early 2000s, theories were just flying around, and the most popular one by far was that this sound had be coming from an animal.
And here's the part that is just staggering. This number, 5,000 kilometers, or about 3,000 miles, that's the distance over which this one sound was detected. It was picked up by multiple sensors, thousands of kilometers apart from each other. The sheer raw power needed for a sound to travel that far underwater is just immense.
That incredible power led people directly to the most exciting theory of all, that this was the call of an undiscovered sea monster, something way bigger than anything we knew existed.
And you know, the animal theory was so compelling because of the sound's signature. Scientists pointed out that its rapid change in frequency looked a whole lot like the calls of other marine animals. It didn't sound like a machine or an earthquake, it sounded organic.
But there was one massive problem. As NOAA's Christopher Fox put it, the Bloop was, and I'm quoting him here, far more powerful than the calls made by any animal on Earth. So while it sounded like an animal, it was just impossibly loud for any creature we've ever discovered.
To really put that power into perspective, just think about the blue whale for a second. It's the loudest animal on the entire planet. Its calls can be heard for hundreds of kilometers. The Bloop, on the other hand, was detected over 5,000 kilometers away. It just completely dwarfed the call of the biggest animal we've ever known.
This is what led journalist David Woolman to ask the question that really captured the public's imagination. Is it even remotely possible that some creature bigger than any whale is lurking in the ocean depths?
So, to crack this mystery, scientists needed to pinpoint exactly where the sound came from. And luckily for them, they had some pretty sophisticated tools to work with.
The sound was captured by this, the Equatorial Pacific Ocean Autonomous Hydrophone Array. You can think of it as a network of giant underwater ears. And here's a cool bit of history. This system was actually an extension of the U.S. Navy's SOSUS network, which was originally built during the Cold War to listen for enemy submarines.
Using this network, scientists were able to triangulate the sound's origin. By comparing the exact time the sound hit different hydrophones, they traced it back to a really remote spot in the South Pacific, way west of the southern tip of South America. So they had a location, but they still didn't have a culprit.
And then the investigation took a huge turn, shifting away from biology and moving towards the colossal forces of nature you only find in the coldest corners of our planet.
The answer to the whole Bloop mystery really lies in this term, a cryosysm, or, to put it more simply, an ice quake. This is a powerful seismic event that isn't caused by tectonic plates shifting, but by the violent cracking and movement of massive amounts of ice.
This right here was the breakthrough. In 2008, long after the bloop was first heard, scientists were tracking this giant iceberg called A53A as it was breaking apart. They recorded the sounds it was making, and when they looked at the spectrograms, they found a stunning match to the bloop's unique audio signature. So how in the world does ice make a sound that loud? Well, it happens through a few incredibly powerful processes. You've got calving, where these huge chunks just fracture and break off a glacier. You have rubbing, where two giant ice floes grind against each other. Then you have ridging, where ice literally bends and crushes itself. Any one of these can release a truly enormous amount of acoustic energy. With this new evidence, all the pieces of the puzzle finally started to click into place, leading to a pretty definitive conclusion.
By 2012, NOAA had officially updated its explanation. All that speculation about a giant monster was finally put to rest. The scientific consensus was clear. The bloop was the sound of a massive cryoseism. The evidence they got from breaking icebergs like A53A was just too strong to ignore.
And even though the sound was triangulated to the South Pacific, the way sound travels underwater means it likely came from much, much further south. The most probable sources are the massive ice shelves of Antarctica, specifically in places like the Bransfield Strait or near Cape Adare, which are notorious for generating these powerful ice-related sounds.
So, the final verdict is in. The bloop wasn't the call of a sea monster, but it was the sound of a monster of a different kind. A monumental iceberg fracturing and blasting an incredible burst of sound into the ocean. A sound so powerful it could be heard thousands of kilometers away.
You know, the story of the bloop is a perfect reminder of how a good mystery can totally capture our imagination. But it also shows how the truth, when you find it through science, can be just as awe-inspiring. It wasn't some biological beast, but the sheer, raw power of our planet's frozen giants. And it really leaves you wondering, with so much of our oceans still completely unexplored, what other strange sounds and secrets are just waiting down there to be discovered?